Booger McFarland is with us regularly during the football season every Wednesday, and he's a great resource and friend for us during the season. He's on Monday Night Football. He was a first-round pick. He was a Tiger All-American, Tampa Bay Buccaneers Super Bowl winner, Indianapolis Colts Super Bowl winner, and now a resident in Tampa. Boog, we meant to dial you up a couple of weeks back because we wanted to see how close you were to Carol Baskin in the Tiger King craze going around the world. When we saw she was in Tampa, we had to figure that you knew who she was. Is Carol is she a prominent figure around the community?
I've never seen Carol Baskin, first of all. Second of all, good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. Before we get to Carol Baskin, did TBob have another baby?
TBob and Rivers. Rivers had another baby. She had a baby boy Friday. TBob's wife gave birth to another baby girl yesterday morning. So the off the bench crew has added two since the weekend.
I like it. Well, congrats to both. TBob with two daughters scares me, but I know his wife will take care of things. Yeah, you know what? I like everyone else, just happened to stumble across Tiger King, dude, and I was like, wait a minute, that's like 10 minutes from my house. And I'm like, I knew about Big Cat Rescue, but I had no idea Carol Baskin was up there killing folks and doing things at Big Cat Rescue, man.
Yeah,
so
right, man.
It was fun to watch. I think hopefully we can get back to sports at some point and stop talking about Carol Baskin and Joe Exotic, you know?
Yeah, me too, Bill. So take me back to the news of Brady. When you first heard that as a former Buck and somebody who has such an influence in the game of football, what was your first reaction?
Well, I was a little shocked because it's always hard to leave. You know, when you've been somewhere 20 years and all of a sudden, you know, you leave and go somewhere else, it was a little shocking. But when you understand everything that Tom Brady endured the last couple of years in New England, the lack of weapons, and just the relationship. And you know, sometimes you need to hear another voice. And I think all those things played a factor. And for him, don't underestimate the fact that New England, it's cold. Like, my buddy lives up there now, and it snowed the other day. Big guy, I got to tell you, it's 90 degrees and sunshine here in Tampa. We were in the pool all day this past Sunday. So, you know, I think that factored into it also. But I think the biggest deal, Jordy, was the fact that you can come and you got Mike Evans, you got Chris Godwin, the warm weather, Braid, Howard, an offensive line that's pretty good. Like, in a matter of one pen stroke, he upgraded his teammates exponentially. And I think for him, he still feels like he has a couple of years left. And then, by the way, yesterday you had Rob Gronkowski, so you can bring a guy who is still one of the great mismatches in our league. He doesn't have to play every down, but, you know, there are going to be key situations where Gronk is going to be pivotal. But to say this town is buzzing would be an understatement.
I bet. I can't imagine what it's like right now, especially after the news yesterday. And I want to get into the Gronk stuff. You mentioned all the weapons that Brady now has on offense at his disposal. Was the X factor Arians?
Well, I think the X factor was everything. Arians definitely helped. So, in other words, you know, leaving a coach like Belichick, a guy who was all about the Patriot way, we're going to do this thing my way, and it's not going to be a whole lot of fun, but we're going to win. I don't think Brady would have come to another coach of that similar ilk.
Yeah.
But the fact that Bruce Arians is a guy who religiously likes to have fun, it's no risk it, no biscuit. I'm a veteran coach. I've been around a long time, seen it. I've coached Peyton Manning. I've coached Carson Palmer. So I understand what it's like to coach a big-time QB. I think all those things factored into it. And, you know, every now and then opportunity and timing go together. And I think for Tom Brady, this was one of those situations where opportunity, timing, and chance all fit really, really well. And Tom Brady's a Buccaneer, and, you know, he's living in Derek Jeter's house, and he's got the paparazzi driving by. And so it kind of feels like a small version of Los Angeles, where now you got one of the biggest celebrities in the country in Tampa. And, oh, by the way, we have no football to play right now. So it's a lot of excitement. Everybody is ecstatic, but everybody's just really trying to deal with what we're dealing with right now with this coronavirus and hoping and praying that we can get back to football at some point, because Tampa will be the epicenter of football for about a year because you got the Super Bowl that's going to be here in January. Brady's here. And, oh, by the way, the best team in our division is right there in New Orleans, and we still have an opportunity that we got to go and we got to deal with them. So it's a lot of fun, man. So hopefully we can get the football soon.
Boog, as we know, he's going to have a major impact on that Tampa Bay Buccaneers locker room. We caught up with Devin White the other day, and he said he had already talked to Tom Brady multiple times. Tom reached out to him and just wanted to pick his brain and see where he was. And you and I both play with Peyton Manning. We've been in those locker rooms. I remember when I first walked into Denver on a Monday morning, Peyton Manning had the clicker in his hand. It wasn't John Fox. It was Peyton Manning. He had the clicker, and so he was holding everybody accountable. Even if you're an old guy, even if you're a veteran guy, I think if Tom Brady still has that impact on you in the locker room.
Well, I think we've all heard about what Brady did in New England, and we all have experienced, especially with Peyton, a quarterback that can command the room, that is going to show you what it's like to be a professional and show you what it's like to be and develop a championship culture. Now, it's one thing to hear about it. It's another thing to see it and live it every day. And I think that's the biggest challenge for Tom going through this pandemic. And at some point, whether it's late summer, early fall, whenever, he's going to get an opportunity to walk in one Buccaneer place, and every eye in the building is going to be on him. Not that he doesn't deserve it, but he's going to have to show this organization how you do it. And the quicker he can do that, the quicker everybody can assimilate and get up to his level. And to me, that's going to be the biggest challenge for him. Tom Brady can still throw the football at a very high level. He's still going to be very accurate. He still can process information as quick as anybody that's ever played this game. What he's got to do is to get everyone to play on his level mentally. And if he can do that and get everybody to do the little things, because as you know, football, once you get to a certain talent level, how do you win? Well, winning comes from doing the little things right over and over. Winning comes from not taking things for granted. Winning comes from how can I play my best every given time I step out. And I think Brady has more or less mastered that consistently over his career. He's played at a high level. So how do you get a young football team in Tampa that has a lot of hype to do that? They're going to deal with more hype than they've ever dealt with before. Most of these guys on this team are third, fourth, fifth-year players. They've never dealt with the expectations of you are a Super Bowl contender now. How do you deal with that? Brady's dealt with that every year of his career. So it'll be fun and interesting to see how he can help this team get to the level mentally that he's been at for a long time.
Boog, they pick up Gronk yesterday. Gronk didn't play, obviously, last year. Reports are he's lost 50 to 60 pounds. What version of Gronk do you think Tampa Bay gets?
Well, first of all, he hadn't lost 50 or 60 pounds. It's amazing how these stories get exacerbated. I mean, if you look at Rob Gronkowski, at his best, he probably played at 265. If I had to guess right now, Gronk's probably 240. Just kind of eyeballing it. As a guy who's been a fat guy all his life and lost weight, you can kind of eyeball it and kind of see. He's probably lost 25, at the most 30 pounds. He doesn't have to get back to 265. Rob Gronkowski, if he puts on 10 pounds and he gets to 245, that's really good. I had a coach who told me once, the older you get, the smaller you should play. So I hope Gronkowski plays about 20 pounds lighter. It's not going to take him, guys. I mean, his body's going to feel good. It shouldn't take him but a month or two, and I'm pretty sure he's been thinking about this to get ready, get back in the gym, start throwing some iron up, start eating a lot more. To me, this is going to be fun. I'm pretty sure Gronk, who is a really good athlete, will be in the best physical condition that he can be. And I think he's going to contribute at a high level. Now, is he going to be the Rob Gronkowski that leads the National Football League in receiving for tight end? I doubt it. That's going to be Travis Kelce, Zach Ertz, George Kittles. But there will not be a guy who is a bigger mismatch from the red zone in than Rob Gronkowski, especially now that he has Tom Brady back.
Tampa Bay, who seems to be the centerpiece of the NFL and the buzz of the NFL, to up the interstate to Jacksonville, in which everybody's laughing at. Do you think that Leonard Fournette makes it out of Jacksonville, or do you think that he plays for Jacksonville this year? He seems to be the center of a lot of trade discussions right now.
Yeah, I think there are some teams who want Fournette. once you start having discussions, it's usually hard to kind of put the genie back in the bottle.
Right.
Like very rarely do you say, you know what, we're thinking about trading this guy openly, and then say, yeah, you know what, we didn't trade him. Come on back, let's have a cup of coffee and do this thing again. Usually, when you get to a point where we're having open discussions about the team having discussions about trading him, it's going to happen, because what you don't want is you don't want the headache in the locker room where at some point player and team look at each other, well, you didn't want me anyway. You wanted to trade me. That just creates a very awkward environment. I think he's going to get moved. Where, I have no idea. But it wouldn't surprise me by the next time we talk, whether it's Monday morning or Wednesday or whenever, that Leonard Fournette has been traded.
The honorary captain of LSU's win in the national championship over Clemson, the first defensive tackle taken in the 1999 draft by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Jesus
My
Christ,
bad, bro. My bad.
I mean,
you look great. You look great.
He's also 318-31 great, but
yep.
we can talk about that later.
Winsboro's finest. Thank you, man. Have a good weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Stay healthy.
Anytime. Y'all take it easy. Same to you, buddy.
All right, man. See you.